Okay, I promise you, I'm not gonna stay alive for long. One, because my phone is dying, so I don't know how long it's gonna. And this charger is so dang short. Oh my God. Here's the thing what's killing me. What is going on with Amber Heard's attorney? I mean, oh, fucking A, hold on. Hello, can you guys hear me? It's real windy out there. Hi, Bobby. Can you hear me? I'll tell you what. I've been watching, begrudgingly, that trial. And hi, Nana. And I just don't understand why. Like, okay, I get it. That there is no limit to how many times a attorney can object. But when you've got one attorney who's objecting to the answer, somebody starts their sentence like, well, I object, I object, I object. And then you've got the other attorney never objecting, where there's clear cut times that this attorney the tone of her voice is leading. Uh, she's, I mean, there's loads of time. I mean, they're putting in evidence where that other attorney hasn't even seen and then has to review real quick to keep repeating the same question over. That other attorney could object, asked and answered, asked and answered. I mean, when you see somebody's tactics, right? Then do the same. I don't know why that other attorney. Now, his net worth is 120 million. But somehow he blew 650 million. He blew 650 million. In 2007, Dr. Feelgood, I mean, Dr. Kipper, was, I know, but see, Bobby, what is disturbing to me is the fact that, like yourself, right? And like myself, and like loads of women, this woman is getting railroaded here. She's getting railroaded. And behind the whole thing is a doctor who basically operates out of luxury hotels or luxury celebrity homes. Mind you, he's just a doctor of everything. And in 2007, he went up in front of the medical board. And because Ozzy Osbourne, and he's much like that other one, the doctor of Anna Nicole Smith, Michael Jackson, Billie Holiday. Loads of them. Loads of them. Because those studios keep going, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. So here's Ozzy Osbourne. I think so too, Bobby. But I think he's being fucked with. Bad. They ended up slapping this doctor. Now, so here's Ozzy Osbourne, okay? Who goes to somebody for help getting. Okay, well, here's the thing. When looking for a doctor that you're going to basically have on your payroll, which Johnny Depp basically did, and somehow, some way, 650 million are missing. Is missing 650 million. Just 8 hours ago, someone went into his Wikipedia and really padded it up for him. But when Ozzy Osbourne says, you see how I'm acting, it's because of this doctor. Because he sits here and writes prescription after prescription for me, over medicates me, and he's Dr. Feelgood. The medical board says, have you got these records to the doctor? Can you show us what was going on? He says, no, I don't have those records anymore. And he doesn't get his license taken away or anything. He gets a slap on the wrist for bad record keeping. Now, in my opinion, when searching for a doctor for your brother, that's a lot of money, Bobby. Like, really, where'd that go? Where'd that go? And they blame it on Amber. But how much did he lose since Amber? I mean, what are those little emojis? I can't tell. Hi, Cassidy. Oh, money bags. Uh, when his sister, Christy, or Chrissy, or whatever, is looking for some reason it kicked me out, is looking for a doctor, right? For her brother, you would think she'd have come across the same articles I did about him being known as a Dr. Feelgood. And not being really any kind of practicing specialized field. Basically, he just writes prescriptions, in my opinion. And this attorney is such an asshole. Such an asshole. Yeah, Cassidy. Because in actuality, and the way this attorney keeps going on, like, the tone she'll get to her voice when she's talking to Amber Heard with like a little like that and stuff, Man, if I was that judge, like I said, I would say, I just don't understand why. Did they have some kind of assigned thing? Yep, that is what they call him, Dr. Feelgood, right, Bobby? Like, wait, I really wish Ozzy Osbourne would fucking get up there and say, hell no. I wish Sharon Osbourne would get up there and say, hell no. This is a problem arising from him, Dr. Feelgood. And in the meantime, where's that 650 mil? While Johnny Depp was getting overprescribed, in my opinion. And then there's other medical on staff. Why would he need, seriously, that judge needs to do the right thing. She needs to, seriously, she needs to recognize, first of all, that one person has way more means. So how much is he suing her for? 50 million? Is that what I heard? 50 million? Now he knows he's not going to get 50 million. He knows he is not going to get 50 million. So what is he suing her for? Isn't everything coming out that he's mad about coming out? Isn't he? It's all out now. All the recordings. Everything that wasn't out before is out now. So what's 50 million gonna do him? She can't take the statements back because they've played recordings. This attorney keeps going on about, isn't it true though that you smoked joints or did mushrooms when you first started to date Mr. Depp? Well, yeah, okay. But how long has Dr. Feelgood been involved? Did she know the extent of his addiction? This attorney is speaking to her as if she can't smoke a joint because he can't handle his joints. Or that at one time when she got caught up in the drugs. She's doing weed and mushrooms. What's he doing? I still want to know. Did the people who he destroyed that? Man. This shit is fucked. Man, I'm telling you, I would so take control of that courtroom. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Tiffany H. This is a fucking video she plays. Okay? Yeah, but see, people can't call other people's lives bullshit if you wouldn't want it to be called bullshit if you were going through it. We have to put the human back into the race. I mean, horrific what Sharon V did with that doll. Yesterday, I find out, or 2 days ago, whatever it was, I think it was Chosen One Community's video, maybe. Maybe. Showing that Mama Sparling's mother's obituary. Her mother's obituary. Her mother's obituary. Hi, Diane. Hi, Cindy Infinity. Why was Amber Heard around Elon Musk? It is important, Rachel. Every single case sets a precedence. If the precedence that's set is not in good form, then every single case, like any other woman being, threatened to be drowned, burnt, and then the corpse fucked, everybody will just, make her look like the villain. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I just don't even understand the amount that he's asking for. He knows she can't pay. So obviously his motivation there is a lot more than money. Why? Who did the necrophonic app? What do you think about them wanting to overturn Roe versus Wade, Rachel? Oh, I was just asking about the Necrophonic app, Rachel. I mean, with your legal expertise, I thought maybe you might want to throw some input in. Hey, Cindy, where was the Necrophonic app? This must be a tough question for everybody. Hmm? My God, that was a really long time ago. I can't be behind in the chat. I'm like always up to like the end of the thing. Cindy's second daughter. I didn't know she had a second daughter. With Princess and Mom. Huh, really? What name? I thought Cindy only had the twins. I, I do remember her coming up. Didn't she come up? I kind of. Man, that was a while ago. I guess my memory is not very well. I don't know. I'm starting to think DV isn't that important anymore. That's what. That's what I mean, Cassidy. I don't remember anything like that. And I don't see Cindy here anymore. Princess Mom. I don't know. I mean, I don't even. I didn't. I realized. I thought I'd spoken to Cindy on the phone before, and I don't recollect her ever saying that she had. Did she say that, you guys? Maybe she did say that. I really don't fucking know. I really don't, man. I really don't know, man. I don't know how we got onto this. I really don't. I really don't. Uh, $10, Diane. $9.99. Um, hi Night Owl. Did I say hi Night Owl before? Oh my god, I would so have this attorney. I mean, my god. I'm telling you guys.
That's what I came to figure out. Stop the process. I don't want to do this. You're not going to do it. Okay, I don't want to. You don't? I don't want a divorce. I never wanted a fucking divorce. I never wanted a divorce. I didn't want you.
I am telling you right now. This guy, he blows her off for her 30th party. For her 30th birthday party. Blows her off.
Coachella without talking to me because I left you because you were fucking. You fucking haymakered me, man. You came around the bed and fucking started punching on me.
Oh, this fucking guy. This guy.
Why? I love you.
That's what really happened the evening of your 30th birthday, isn't it, Miss Heard?
No.
No, that's incorrect. Mr. Depp was in bed, and then you came around the bed and started punching him.
That's incorrect.
You don't deny that in the recording, do you, Miss Heard?
I'm not having that conversation with Johnny. I'm not denying anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm not having that conversation.
See, the way she goes, and then you came around the bed and started punching him. That's not a question.
Conversation with Johnny. I was trying to get out of that hotel room. That was a mediation attempt. That was the recording you just heard. It was us meeting in a hotel.
You're talking about your 30th birthday.
No, we're not.
You're not talking about going to Coachella and...
Johnny's talking about that. I am not arguing with him about any of that.
Right. You don't deny anything, do you?
I'm not talking to him about that.
You don't deny anything, do you? What the hell kind of a question is that? What kind of question is that?
Publish exhibit, or ask that the witness be shown exhibit 1265. This is you and your friends at Coachella, correct?
That is correct.
I'm going to move to admit plaintiff's 1265 and publish it.
No objection. All right. 1265. Publish it.
There's no injuries to you, are there, Miss Heard? Visible in this picture.
You cannot see any visible injury, no.
Miss Heard, you remember during Mr. Depp's examination, a number of recordings were played, correct?
That's correct.
And in one of those recordings, you told Mr. Depp, quote, I hope to God Jack's stepfather teaches him more about being a man than your fucking left nut, end quote. Do you remember that?
No, that's not what she said. She said, I hope to God Jack's stepfather can teach him more about being a man because his real father certainly couldn't. His stepfather has more of a man in him than... No. There's more than his left nut or something like that. Well, if you haven't been watching it, then I don't know how you can... You said you hadn't been watching it.
I do not remember what exactly I could hear of that recording. I remember I heard myself make a mention of Jack's new stepfather or potential stepfather. I can't recall.
Okay, now if they can't remember, okay, if she can't remember, then she can't use that answer. Replay it then. They've got it. They've got it. Replay it.
Jack is Mr. Depp's son, right?
That is correct. And I believe that I was referencing a marriage that his ex-partner was going to have or getting into, I suppose.
You were referencing that Jack's new stepfather would teach him how to be a man because Mr. Depp couldn't.
I don't recall exactly what I said.
That's not a question.
But it was something to that effect.
Let's listen to some of what happened before you said that to Mr. Depp. If we could please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 397, which is already in evidence. And for the record, it's at 3504.
I know, but it's so different, Bobby, from what people say about it. When people talk about it, they all act like Amber's a fucking bad guy here. But I don't think she is, you know?
3547. And then the next clip is 3635 through 4308.
Everything's fine until it doesn't go your way. When it doesn't go your way, I'm in trouble. And you know what? I don't need you. I don't want your kind of woman. I don't want your kind of woman. I don't want your kind of woman.
See? Now, here's the thing. This guy has been fucking around with this girl since she was, what, 20? And he's 58? Old enough to be her father. Old enough to know that if somebody was doing the things to his daughter, he wouldn't like it. He wouldn't like it.
Oh my God. So why did you do this?
Now let me tell you another. Wait a second. What was that?
I wish I fucking hadn't bought into any of your fucking lies and bullshit, your sober fucking presence, your fucking goodness, your sweetness, all the lies. I wish I had bought into the months of you being you. I wish I had bought into the promises. I wish I had fucking thought I could have kids with you. You're a fucking kid yourself. I wish I had bought into any of the lies you sold. Talk about fake feeling good. You're the biggest fucking...
Exactly. 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 What she's saying is what a lot of women would have probably said to men that act one way when they first meet them. And then they become another. Now, so here we've got them dating for what? Quite a long time. Okay? And... Oh, Bobby? No. I'm not talking about it. That's why I'm doing these commentaries so that we can... I don't know then. I really don't know what to do. What do you guys want me to do? You guys tell me. You guys tell me. See, I like investigating stuff. And I mean, I know myself that because of my own problems with defamation, but I don't have 125 million, that the defamation that I went through from Chosen One, Tom Reed, and Jersey with Jewels, and others, that probably hurts me way more than it hurts them. Especially Johnny Depp. He's been partying, doing drugs, destroying hotel rooms for a long fucking time. I myself haven't. Now, I'd love to have as much publicity on a case of a 54-year-old woman, 52 at the time, 52-year-old single woman, productive citizen, worked since 15, taxpayer, getting slandered, defamed, everything, villainized from the day of a stage 3 breast cancer diagnosis. The defamation. I mean, these people, it's disgusting. And I could talk about every fucking hot topic on YouTube till the fucking cows come home. And people screaming about Maddie. When, in my eyes, after the other night's live stream that I did, where we talked about those rehabs, where now they're just basically fucking flop houses, which in actuality, this Dr. Feelgood, Dr. Kipper, in my opinion, is no better. Johnny Depp is no better than a street addict that signs up for one of those rehabs we talked about in my live stream the other night. That basically just keep them hooked because there is no oversight on what these insurance companies are paying for rehab. Gets lost in their shuffle. We're getting so many bills for rehabs and this and that and detoxing and these pills and those pills and these pills. And we can't keep a handle on it. But let a person with a real, legit, not voluntary health issue. It happens all the time. Try to. Now, here's the thing. If insurance companies won't pay for pre-existing conditions, why the fuck are they required to pay for conditions that people but see, now I could say that, but here's the thing. When you're 15 and you get your appendix out and they give you painkillers, okay, fine, and they give you painkillers. The other night we were watching a documentary where that's how this girl's addiction started. It is a racket. Here's the thing, though. Since how long? God. I know myself at least since the 80s, early 80s, that opioids have been a problem in this nation. It's increased tenfold. It's really increased. So I mean, I can't speak for anybody else. All I know is that my daughter won't even get anesthesia. Like, she gets kidney stones and she got local, just a local anesthesia. She wouldn't go under. And for cavities and stuff, like any dental work, nothing. No Novocaine, nothing. 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 When she got her wisdom teeth pulled, and yes, she came out of the laughing gas stuff, and yeah, they're, blah, 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 out of it, right? But those pain, if she needed one of those pain pills, she got like a half of one, but not without having just aspirin first. It isn't happening to my child. It wasn't then, it isn't now. So I don't know how there's this Dr. Feelgood that Ozzy Osbourne, who I would feel has probably more fucking integrity than Dr. Feelgood, Kipper, in my opinion. And he gets a slap on the wrist for not having good records. Are you kidding me? So that's how he escaped losing his medical license, is by not having the records?
Mr. Depp in the statement, aren't you?
I don't know what he saw.
You testified that he didn't see any visible injuries, did
I
he?
would believe that he didn't, yes.
We were also in this courtroom when Alejandro Romero, who worked at the front desk at the Eastern Columbia building, testified about seeing you on May 25th, 2016. Isn't that correct?
That is correct. I think he said the 25th.
Yeah. And Mr.
Now, is that the same hotel clerk, I don't know what the fuck he was, that was vaping while he was driving and laughing and giggling? I don't know.
Romero testified that he didn't see any swelling or bruises on your face when you were talking to him at the front desk.
He wouldn't have.
No, he wouldn't have, even though he had a habit, because his parents taught him correctly, to look into someone's eyes when speaking to them.
Oh, really? Then why the fuck is he wearing fucking sunglasses? Thank you, Cassidy.
Yes.
You testified yesterday that you sought a temporary restraining order on May 27th, 2016, because you wanted to change your locks. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, I do.
Those locks were to the penthouses at the Eastern Columbia building. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
You changed the locks to the penthouses on May 22nd, 2016.
I attempted to.
That's not a fucking question. Not a question.
That's why you felt comfortable having James Franco over the evening of May 22nd.
Oh, no. Objection. Objection.
Teen misheard?
Speculation.
I do not know when James came over.
Okay, let's remind you. Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 304, which is already in evidence, and play from 254 through 439?
Man, they are all against this woman. Wow. It's like they forget the fact that he texted his friend, Peter Bertrand, or whatever his name is there, and said, let's burn Amber. Let's drown her first. I'll fuck the dead body to make sure. Wow. Thank you, Rachel. The heck? Wow, I just don't even understand how.
That is correct.
Aquaman.
Now, they lessened her role
Released on December 21st, 2018, right?
in the Aquaman
Yes.
2 because of
That
him.
was your first big blockbuster, big budget role, right?
I disagree, but it was the first time I had like a leading role in a movie of that size. Yes. Well, second time, yes.
What was your first time?
Well, the first one was the
Big
film I talked
Lebowski?
about before. Yesterday, Justice League. It introduced
Justice
the character.
League. Oh, okay.
So
Justice League. Yeah, she wasn't in Big Lebowski. It was something else she was in. I forgot. I know. This guy cut his own finger off and wrote in blood all over a rented villa's paintings, their walls, their fucking lampshades.
technically, it was the second one.
But you were the love interest in Aquaman, correct?
That is correct.
Now, at least parts of this op-ed are about Mr. Depp, isn't that right?
It's about what happened to me after.
You sat here during opening statements when your attorney argued that the context of your statements in this op-ed matter, correct?
That's correct.
So let's go through some of that context. He wrote here, quote, "Friends and advisors told me I would never work again as an actress, that I would be blacklisted."
That is
You're
correct.
referring to your accusations of domestic violence against Mr. Depp in this statement, aren't you?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
You're referring to your accusations of domestic violence against Mr. Depp.
Objection, leading. Speculation. Yeah, cut off his own fucking finger. Then texted his doctor, told him he cut off his own finger, and he asked him for cocaine and ecstasy. I mean, he admitted to this on the stand.
The statement, aren't you?
In general, I'm referring to being associated with domestic violence.
And you're referring to what you claim happened after you got an ex-party domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp in May of 2016, right?
Are you asking me if that's what I was writing about?
Objection. What's it called? What's it? I'll figure it out. Hold on. Okay, Bobby. He absolutely is doing self-harm. Absolutely. He needs to be locked up.
That's why you felt comfortable having James Franco over the evening of May 22nd.
Notice the title.
You didn't need to include the link to the electronic version of the op-ed in your tweet, did you?
How else would I have linked it?
Well, you didn't need to include the link to tell the world that today you had published this op-ed in the Washington Post about women who are channeling their rage and about violence and equality into political strength.
Why doesn't she need to? Objection.
Despite the price of coming forward, right?
I couldn't attach it with a paper clip.
No, but you didn't need to attach it at all to tell the world that you had published an op-ed.
That's not a question. That's not a question. That is not a question.
No, the goal was to tweet about it and to provide a link so that people could read it.
The op-ed is in your name, right?
That's correct.
So if you had noticed the title of the electronic version of the op-ed before you included it in your tweet, you could have asked the Washington Post to change it. Isn't that right?
No, that's not.
What's her question? What is her question here?
But you didn't do that, right? You never asked the Washington Post to change the title.
I didn't notice it, and I didn't ask them, nor do I think I needed to.
At the bottom, do you see that there's another tweet from December 19th, 2018?
Yes, I do.
And in this one, it reads, "I am honored to announce my role as an ACLU ambassador on women's rights." Did I read that right?
That's correct.
So you announced your ACLU ambassadorship the same day you posted the op-ed on your Twitter.
Asked and answered.
I think that was always the plan, is to attach the article with the announcement that I was an ambassador.
Your Honor, if I may, would this be a good time to stop for lunch?
No, it's too
No.
early.
Okay,
Sorry.
That's okay.
We gotta keep going at least till 12:30.
Okay, that's fine, Your Honor. Thank you. Ms. Hurd, you testified yesterday about your
Where the fuck does she get off? Asking if it's a good time to stop for lunch. They'll tell you, lady. They don't fucking work for you.
I'll claim against Mr. Depp in this case. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, I do.
Your counterclaim is based on 3 statements made by Mr. Depp's attorneys, Adam Waldman. Is that right?
That's correct.
We looked at those 3 statements yesterday, right?
That's correct.
And the first statement was from an April 8th, 2020 article, right?
That's correct.
And that's Defendant's Exhibit 1245 that's been previously admitted. Please pull that up. Thank you. We could please publish that. Thank you. We can scroll down to the 8th page. Mr. Waldman's statement is buried on the 8th page of a 12-page article. Is that right, Ms. Hurd?
I don't know how many pages are here.
Well, this is the 8th page. Let's go to the 12th.
Has she seen this before?
Let's pull up, please, Defendant's Exhibit 1246, which has already been admitted. And if we could please go to Mr. Waldman's statement on page 10.
The fuck's all this blacked out shit?
And go on to page 11 of a...
Why doesn't this bitch read it out?
That's Mr. Waldman's statement, right?
That is correct. I think it's Mr. Waldman speaking on behalf of Johnny, yes.
You don't have any evidence of that, do you, Ms. Hurd? This is Mr. Waldman's statement, right?
I think it's included in the article as well.
I know, right, Rachel?
That this is Mr. Waldman's statement, correct?
That a representative or an attorney, I don't know which word it says in the article, that it says very clearly that they're speaking on behalf of Johnny or representing Johnny.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 8818? 8818A, excuse me.
Oh, so Johnny kept calling. So anyway, any fucking time this girl left his site or got offered a movie, in my opinion, this motherfucker was calling the cops on her, calling the director. Oh my God. Now, why is there not a fucking peep? Not a peep coming from her attorney. Not a peep. Why? Wow. You're right. Conjecture, yeah. That's like forming an opinion without actual proof. And that attorney is doing a fucking lot of that. Why is her attorney not saying anything? I can't comprehend it.
If we could please go to page 8 of this article.
Okay, yo, Camille, is that this attorney's name? Camille? Are you not at page 8 yet, bitch? Or are you just milking the fucking system? You getting paid by the fucking hour, bitch?
Your Honor. Yeah, I just approached you.
The hell is wrong with that court officer? Yes, she is, Rachel. Mm-hmm. Even if she paid her $1 million, that attorney, Johnny Depp could pay her $5 million. I'm sure she's not getting that much, but what I'm saying is just, you know, from what I looked up, Amber is worth $2.5 million, and he's worth over $125 million.
We'll come back to this. Sorry, Ms. Heard. Sorry, Your Honor. Let's go ahead and take this.
Now, see, if I was that judge, I would say to this attorney, have your facts in order. Have your evidence in order. Don't waste this court's time anymore. I would tell Johnny Depp, speed up when you're talking, buddy. You don't need to say 2 words a minute.
Thanks. You testified yesterday about how your reputation was before these 3 statements were made, correct?
Yes, I did.
You testified that your career was going very well before.
I think I said the trajectory was positive, yes.
You testified you had a global campaign for L'Oreal, right?
That is correct.
You testified you were waiting on a schedule for Aquaman 2.
Get the fuck out. He destroyed her. Wow.
That is correct.
You testified you were scheduled to do a press tour for the TV show The Stand.
Press obligations, yes.
And then you testified that after isn't that right?
They suspended using my
But he still has his fucking cologne campaign. Now, the irony is they both had the same fucking agent. Hi, Night Owl.
material.
And that you were no longer involved in the publicity surrounding The Stand after the articles, right?
That's correct.
And you didn't hear anything about the schedule for Aquaman 2.
Correct.
Ms. Heard, you have no evidence that Mr. Waldman's 3 statements are the reason you are allegedly no longer active in the L'Oreal campaign, do you?
Well, I mean, other than my
Leading. Conjecture. Objection.
awareness that they can't use me because of all of the online attention that generated.
And you have no evidence that Mr. Waldman's 3 statements are the reason that the Stand media opportunity.
So they took the Stand away from her. They took the fucking... Wow. Now here's what happened to me. All the fucking shit that asshole that I dated for 6 weeks was doing on social media. Get what app? Huh? I lost my jobs.
He's allegedly stopped, do you?
Yeah, I know they couldn't attach my name to their promotional materials because of the online stuff.
In fact, there was a lot of reasons why you were no longer active in these endeavors. Isn't that right?
I disagree with that.
Reasons that had absolutely nothing to do with Mr. Waldman's statements. Isn't that right?
I disagree with that.
No,
There was a lot of
leading.
publicity about your relationship.
Where's her fucking attorney? Where is her attorney? And why, after he said he was gonna drown, burn, and then fuck her dead corpse. You know, and here's another thing, too. I bet you a lot of those Hollywood people probably are customers, in my opinion, allegedly, maybe, of Dr. Feelgood also. And they don't want to get caught off.
Mr. Walden made the 3 statements at issue, right?
I do not recall.
A lot of really negative publicity for you, Ms. Heard. Isn't that right?
There's been an ongoing smear campaign, yes.
An ongoing negative publicity campaign.
It's an orchestrated smear campaign.
You have no evidence of that, do you, Ms. Heard?
Just look me up.
Asked and answered.
Let's take a look at some of that. All right.
I cannot believe that right at the point when he fucking admitted to saying the disgusting things he said. Ugh. Wow. That's the jury. That's the fucking jury. They look like the fucking Motley Crue. No offense.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience. Heard my last question to you was that there was a lot of negative publicity for you around the time that Mr. Walden made these statements. Is
That's
that
not a
correct?
question.
I believe that they were made. I believe that the statements kind of kept being attached to new defamatory, or articles that were like smear campaign sort of attack articles. Is what it.
Let's go through some of the articles that were out in the press. So, Plaintiff's Exhibit 1267. Could just publish that just for the witness. That would be great. Thank you. This is an article published on February 2nd, 2020, and the title is #Justice for Johnny Depp trends after Amber Heard admits to hitting actor in audio clip. You see that?
I see that.
If we can go to Plaintiff's Exhibit 1268.
Thank you,
So it was
Rachel.
published on February 3rd, 2020. It reads the title, Amber Heard admits to hitting Johnny Depp in recording.
Yeah,
You see
that's
that?
when his lawyer leaked an edited tape.
Right. Edited tape. And here's the thing, what I'm thinking is, okay, so his lawyer leaked an edited tape. Now, say that she's practicing a scene from a movie. And he's got his little recorder going. And he says, you can practice on me. She says, well, I don't want to, punch you or hit you. And he says, no, no, no. Do it like you got to do it in the movie, Don't worry about me. He's all high on drugs. He can't feel shit, right? But he's got this recording going. Now, this is in my opinion. I'm just speculating right here. Next thing, he's going, you punched me. No, I hit you. You punched me. No, and then it goes back. It continues. It continues. Because his voice is always the loudest one in these recordings. This fucker's been recording her for a long fucking time. And I bet you he's done it to a lot of people.
It's Heard. You see the title? Amber Heard admits to hitting Johnny Depp in recording. Do you see that?
I see the title.
Okay.
Do you see the testimony, Miss White Suit, Camille? He said he was going to drown her, burn her, and then fuck her burnt corpse.
We could please go to Plaintiff's Exhibit 1269. This one was published on March 17th, 2020. Amber Heard slammed door into Johnny Depp's head, reveals new audio. Do you see that?
Yeah, these are more of the PR plans.
Yes, they are PR plants. Yes, they are. I'll tell you what, I'd be following this fucking attorney around with a fucking camera. I'd be following him around with a camera. What's he been doing every night after the trial? Anybody know? There been any media reports about what Johnny Depp? Where's this, in Virginia? Is this where this is, Virginia? He sure does, yeah. Like, is this? What are they doing at night? Where is he staying? Like, no, where is he staying? If there's no media, no paparazzi trying to get some scoop on what, Johnny Depp's doing while he's there, or what that attorney's doing, showing up in her fucking white suit before Memorial Day.
Let's go to 1270. This one was published on March 31st, 2020. Amber Heard to be sacked from Jason Momoa's Aquaman after Johnny Depp's controversy, reports. You see that?
I do.
Objection, relevance. Relevance. I mean, is there a statute of limitations for when somebody could start fucking claiming defamation? Because you're fucking setting them up, right, Rach? Mm-hmm. Setting them up. Because this motherfucker knows he's a motherfucker. So the media is the most credible source now. Why are they bringing up old shit?
Plaintiff's Exhibit 1271. See the title that says Johnny Depp says ex-wife Amber Heard sliced his finger off, and it quote erupted like Vesuvius.
He lied. He already admitted on the stand 3 weeks ago that he cut his own fucking finger off. I'm sorry to hear that. Who's Jason? Jason is all yours. Who's Jason?
I just don't know when that was. I've never seen that article.
You can go to 1272.
Well, if she's never seen that article, then she shouldn't have been able to fucking read that off.
This one was published on May 29th, 2020, and it says, when Amber Heard confessed to smashing a door into Johnny Depp's head, clocking him in the jaw. Do you see that?
I see that.
Going to 1275.
What is the what's her? Where does this leading to? What's the line of questioning here? What's the relevance here?
This one was published on July 15th, 2020. Amber Heard stole my sexual assault story. Ex-aide tells libel trial. Do you see that?
This was Adam Waldman as well.
Okay, so the same. I don't even. Oh, you mean from the dance thing? Oh, I got you. So the same reporter. Okay.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you line.
Need.
Liberty Bib.
Good afternoon. Your rate in this case is $975 per hour. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you've never charged that higher rate in any other case, isn't that right?
I've charged near that amount, but
never that high, correct?
Okay, hold on a minute. Who the fuck is this guy? Why do these people have to fucking yell in the hall?
That's correct.
How much have you received for this case?
I'd have to look at my billing. During my deposition, the attorney who deposed me asked me the same question.
Well, then if the fucking attorney asked you the same question that deposed you, they told you, you answered with that same fucking response, and now you're saying you don't know. $1,000 an hour.
Said I would look it up. I did during lunch, and then she never got back to it again. I don't remember how much it was then, and I don't have the figure.
You don't remember, and well, then I would say that your testimony is out the window. Call your fucking office. Man, I'd be hard on these bitches. I'd say, here's a phone. Call your office now. We want to know. Now, here's something, though, that I recently learned. That flight attendants, I don't know why these people have to yell. They just can't talk. It doesn't make sense. Flight attendants. You know when you get in the plane, okay? Right? So you've got these people coming, they're like, you see the stewardesses going through the airport with their cases and inside the plane, getting all those caddies, the little carts ready. Then they're standing there waiting, hello, welcome, welcome. Okay? Just until recently, within the last 2 to 3 weeks, did they start paying flight attendants during that time. Used to be, they wouldn't start getting paid until they got up in the air. All that setup and everything was free. This motherfucker gets $975 an hour. And it probably starts the moment he gets in his car driving. They just said that's the most he's ever charged.
So now,
And you don't know how many hours you worked on this case?
I would guess, again, I'd be guessing, and I don't know if you want me to guess. I have a full-time transactional practice. This is a very small part of my practice.
Now, you said you worked for Disney.
That's not the answer. That's not an answer.
For less than a year, right?
I worked for Disney about a year.
Yeah, and that was in 1990, right?
Yes.
So that was 32 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. And you worked at Greenberg Trial Room from 2004 to 2006, is that right?
That's correct.
Your leaving was a mutual decision, was it not?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Depp still has an endorsement deal with Dior, correct?
I understand that, yes.
And he's had that endorsement deal since 2015, isn't that right?
I believe he's had the endorsement deal for a while, and I think he still has it.
Right. And Dior hasn't dropped, Mr. Depp, correct?
As far as I know, Dior has not.
Asked and answered. So he still has his Dior fucking gig. Here's the thing. If she lost everything, and she lost all her fucking gigs, all her gigs, okay? And now he's basically draining her with... This is sick.
And Mr. Depp did not have a contract for Pirate 6, isn't that right?
As far as I know, there is no contract for Pirate 6.
Right. And all the documents you looked at all the documents in this case, and you've not seen a contract for Pirate 6, right?
That's my memory of the documents. There was no contract for Pirate 6.
And in all the documents you looked at, you didn't see a text saying Mr. Depp got the contract for Pirate 6 for $22.5 million, right?
Objection has been answered. Overruled.
No. No. Because if he would have said, did he receive a letter, text, she would have said, oh, well, no, he's combining them all together. He's got to say it singularly. So he says singularly, did he receive a text saying 22 million? Okay, now, so... So who's the one who's really the fucking victim of defamation here? This motherfucker was recording everything she did. He would call. It was his doctor, Feel Good, that was fucking... She got corralled up and fucking given medication when he was fucking... After he'd cut his own fucking finger off. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah, Rachel. I mean, this poor woman, he had her fucking locked down. He sure did.
Overruled.
I didn't see paperwork on an agreement for Pirates of the Caribbean 6.
So not an email, not a text, not any written document about Pirate 6, correct?
Objection has been
Objection.
answered. I'll sustain that objection. Next question.
And you don't know one way or the other whether Mr. Depp will be in Pirates of Caribbean 6. You don't have a crystal ball, is that right?
And that's
Objection,
that kid.
speculation.
No. Conjecture. Yeah.
Allow it. Go ahead. Overruled. Go ahead and answer, sir.
An expert of what? What is he a fucking expert of? I'm just wondering. An entertainment attorney hired by the actor to analyze the impact of ex-wife Amber Heard's... Wow. So he could hire... See, I don't understand this. Okay, Cassidy. $22 million. Rachel.
As an expert, of course, I don't have a crystal ball, but as an expert, I think Disney will do everything possible to try to put him back in Pirates, but not under this cloud.
But not under this cloud. Unbelievable.
You agree that there was negative publicity about Mr. Depp before the op-ed, correct?
Yes.
You know that Ms. Heard made her accusations public starting in May of 2016, right?
Yes.
And Hollywood knew about that, right?
Yes.
And Hollywood knew about that. Are they saying in Hollywood, meaning every motherfucker in Hollywood? How the fuck does this guy know to say yes? He don't know what everybody in fucking Hollywood knows. If they have him back working for Disney after he admitted to texting somebody and saying, let's burn Amber, let's drown her first, I will fuck her burnt body after to make sure she's dead. My God.
And Mr. Depp still had movies after May of 2016, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you would agree that there was negative publicity about Mr. Depp being publicly drunk before the op-ed, correct?
There was, I agree with the proposition that there was negative publicity before the op-ed. The op-ed was something different.
And you agree, is it in 2014, there was an article in The Guardian that said apparently drunk Johnny Depp cut off at Hollywood Film Awards ceremony. Would you agree with that?
Did he? Did he? Let's take a look. Probably, let's see if we can even find it. Let's see if we can even find it still on YouTube, or if they've taken down all the bad publicity about him.
What happened? What happened?
There's where he cut himself. That's where he cut himself, right there. What the fuck, man? This isn't even his house.
Nothing happened this morning. You know that?
Were you in here?
No.
So nothing happened to you this morning.
Yeah, you're right. I just woke up and you were so sweet and nice.
What the fuck? No, she has not. Listen to him smashing around a fucking...
We're not even fighting this morning. All I did was say sorry.
Did something happen to you this morning? I don't think so.
No, that's the thing.
You want to see crazy? I'll give you fucking crazy. That's crazy. Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Oh my God. Like what? Jax. What did she do worse to him? All this woman just did was wake up, and this guy
Were you
is...
drunk this whole thing this morning?
Oh, you got this? Oh, really?
Oh my God.
Really?
Oh fuck no. See, that just fucking scared the shit out of me. That poor girl. Holy mother of God, he's a sick bastard. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't even. I can't even. Uh, oh my God. That is so sick. Well, yeah, I've been following the case. I'm doing,
got into bed.
commentary every day.
I remember the television was on. And I
Thank
was
you.
reading, and I said,
Wait, I'm gonna, I can't even comprehend this right here, okay? Incredible. Incredible. Go take a look at that. Incredible. That video right there. Please. I'm in. And you know what, Bobby? It triggers me too. And that's the problem, is that if you read some of the comments that these people are putting about her, and yet everything that he's saying and doing are so familiar to me and triggering. He's an abuser. If people who have been in an abusive relationship get triggered, which I feel right now after watching that video, that 2-minute video I just dropped in here, physically sick, physically gave me a physical reaction. He is an abuser of himself, an abuser of, man, most of all, himself. He's a bastard.
oh, you're
It's unbelievable.
Allegedly, right? Yeah, from the time I got the TRO, being associated with domestic violence. That's what it's a reference to, yes.
You also wrote, quote, imagine a powerful man as a ship like the Titanic. That ship is a huge enterprise. When it strikes an iceberg, there are a lot of people on board desperate to patch up holes, not because they believe in or care about the ship, but because their own fates depend on the enterprise. And it's not bad you're saying Mr. Depp is a ship, right?
All those times she, him. All those times she, him.
Smokehouse Brisket Burger brings it all to the table.
Right?
I wouldn't be able to judge that myself. It felt like a lot.
Okay, well, let's take a look at some of it. If you can turn to page 45, please, in front of you. It's page 12 of the document.
This is 3 weeks ago.
Page 12 of the document. Yes, sir.
This one is 3 weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
And
12 of the document, you say?
yes, in the lower left corner, there's a page 45. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
And you see that on the bottom of that page, there's a discussion of Paul Bettany and the drugs that you did together. And there was a question.
So this is his testimony up there 3 weeks ago.
Question is, any sort of pills? And your answer is yes. There could have been Xanax, or if he asked for Xanax or Adderall, whatever, I would of course give it to him. Question. So you would supply Paul Bettany with whatever medication or controlled drugs he asked for. Is that right? Answer. If he was feeling anxious or if he was feeling unpleasant, I would give him what he asked for. Question.
Now, they don't say who he's texting to. But I do think he's texting with his Dr. Feelgood, Dr. Kipper, in my opinion.
Give him a Xanax? Answer. Yes. Did I read that right?
You certainly did, yes, sir.
You shared, the two of you shared an enjoyment of controlled drugs or alcohol at that time, right?
If the two of us were making a film together,
With respect, sir, that wasn't my question. My question was the two of you shared an enjoyment of controlled drugs and alcohol at that time. Yes or no?
at times.
And Ms. Heard was quite adamant that you didn't drink anymore and that you should stop using recreational drugs, right?
Oh, yes.
And she
Oh,
didn't
yes. See? She didn't want him partying.
like it when you were high on drugs or drunk on alcohol, right?
She didn't like it when it was her perception that I was high on drugs. Her perception.
It was her perception. Then what would he say it is?
It's quite different than the truth.
Okay, what's the truth, buddy?
And that's what we're after is the truth. Let's turn to, can you pull up Exhibit 178, please, Michelle?
Defendants 178 or?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Sorry, I just want to make sure.
Mr. Depp,
Objection, Your Honor.
I'd throw that motherfucking attorney right out. He says, Mr. Depp, and she objects. Now, she's probably getting paid by the hour, too.
Mr. Depp, this is a text message exchange that you had with Paul Bettany on June 11th, 2013, correct?
Yes.
2013. Now, I just would love to know if she had heard these text messages before.
Your Honor, permission to move for admission of redacted Defendants Exhibit 178 and permission to publish, please.
We based off of Your Honor's ruling. All right. That's fine. 178 with redactions.
Can you guys hear this good?
Michelle, could you please blow up the first text at the top? In this text, Mr. Depp,
See how he reads out the text and stuff. Her attorney, his, whatever, the other one there's attorneys don't do that.
you text Mr. Bettany, let's burn Amber, 3 exclamation points, right? You see that?
I do see that.
And at this time, June 11th, 2013, Amber is your girlfriend, or 3 exclamation. In this text, Mr. Depp, you text Mr. Bettany, let's burn Amber, 3 exclamation points, right? You see that?
I do see that.
Let's burn Amber. He
And
says.
at this time, June 11, 2013, Amber is your girlfriend, or perhaps even your fiance at this point, correct?
The girlfriend.
Yeah, for sure. And you didn't stop when you said, let's burn Amber. Because the next text down, you can move down below the next text, please, Michelle. You say, let's drown her before we burn her. 3 exclamation points. Did I read that right?
Yes, it's referring to the section prior to.
Buddy. Yes or no question.
You didn't stop when you said, let's drown her before we burn her. After that, you made another comment. And I'd like to apologize to the court and to the jury for some of the language that I'm going to have to use today. But unfortunately,
I agree too, Night Owl.
a lot of documents with language like this. After you said, let's drown her before we burn her, Mr. Depp, you said, I will fuck her burnt corpse afterwards to make sure she is dead. That's what you said that you would do after you burned her and after you drowned her. Did I read that right?
You certainly did, yes.
And you wrote that about the woman.
How about that? How about that?
Later become your wife.
Yes, I did.
Can you pull up Exhibit 245, please? Your Honor, there's been no objection to this exhibit, so I move for its admission and ask for permission to publish.
Your Honor, we have no objection to the portions that have Mr. Depp's text message. But at the bottom portion, there is some from his daughter that we would.
Jax, are you still here? I'm just wondering, did you hear that?
And Your Honor, that's okay, but there was no objection to this on the exhibit list. That's fine. We're happy to redact those.
See, Rachel? See? Because it's not about who it's about. It's what's being done. Whether they had money or not, what's being done is very typical in today's and throughout history's justice system.
So 245, the evidence with the redactions.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Depp, the top text message, we're going to focus on a couple of these, but the top text message is a text from you to Paul Bettany on May 30th, 2014, correct? Let me just scroll over, Michelle.
Well, don't you think it's because he has more money, Jax? So it's...
May 30th.
Wait, I gotta hit. Install the Chime app today and get started.
2014, yes.
And you recall that you testified yesterday about the flight that you took from Boston to Los Angeles on May 24th, 2014, right?
Yes.
You remember that? Okay.
Yes, I did.
And you testified yesterday that you didn't have any drinks before that flight, or maybe you had a glass of...
So he testified he didn't have any drinks, or maybe he had a glass of wine. Well, how is that a test? You know, I mean, he did or he didn't.
champagne or something. Remember giving that testimony?
Yes, I believe I said I had
glass of champagne on the plane.
Right. So in this text, if you could blow up, Michelle, please, that top text. On May 30th, 2014, you texted Mr. Bettany, just a little bit smaller. You texted Mr. Bettany, I'm going to properly stop the booze thing, darling. Drank all night before I picked Amber up to fly to LA this past Sunday. Ugly, mate. No food for days. Powders. Half a bottle of whiskey. 1,000 Red Bull and vodkas. Pills. 2 bottles of champers on plane. And what do you get? An angry aggro engine in a fucking blackout. Screaming obscenities and insulting any fuck who got near. I'm done.
Okay, so to me, how is it defamation if it's the fucking truth? Earbub alert? What does that mean? Just, I mean, abuse is mental abuse too. Like, I really just don't understand. How is it defamation if it's the truth? How fucking dare they?
Done. I'm admittedly too fucked in the head to spray my rage at the one I love. Read that again. I'm admittedly too fucked in the head to spray my rage at the one I love. For little reason as well. I'm too old.
He says it. Right. Right there is the end of the trial. So prior to her doing that People story, prior to her filing for divorce, and I mean, I just don't even understand. How is it defamation? It sounds like fucking abuse to me. You can't say the other person hitting back. Now, but here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. Say that you had a kid that was 40 pounds, okay? You had a kid that's 40 pounds. And you're 140 pounds. This is just an example, okay? If that kid hits you, like, whatever, little tantrum, kicks you, Does that mean that for 3 days, a person that's 100 pounds more than them should corral them with medical professionals that are known as Dr. Feelgood? I don't understand these people, man. It's all admitted. And that woman says something about James Franco and shows her get into an elevator. Right, for any reason. Exactly, Rachel. Like, say he grabbed her ass and a woman turned around that was 110 pounds and slapped this 210-pound guy that just grabbed her ass across the face. And he decks her because he's all high on this MDMS, whatever the fuck that shit is they're doing. Exactly, Rachel. I'd have had them come in the court right then and there. I'd have called the thing. Done. First of all, I would have said no jury trial. And I get it, people are going to say, well, there's, no, but paranormal. I really want to hear from you because you did say she's done a lot of awful things to him. I just want to know if you could direct me towards something worse than her calling him a fat old man or telling him to suck his own dick. I mean, because that's what I've seen. Now, remember, this guy gets up in the morning and has already slammed down like a fucking half a gallon of wine. She comes downstairs, is having coffee. He clearly states, they've gone from her being the drug addict, right, to him admitting and saying clearly she didn't want him to do drugs. And I don't understand why they had to go through well, no, then that's not an answer. That's not an answer. The thing is his things that he said. But Jax, have you ever hit a woman? And I bet every man at some point in their life has probably been slapped across the face by a guy. But here's Johnny Depp with a ring on every motherfucking finger. A ring a big, gaudy ring on every finger. Because not only does he destroy every fucking hotel room that he's in and get away with it. I want to know where that $650 million went. He didn't go through fucking $650 million in 3 years. There's some bullshit going on. Some bullshit going on there.
Told to be that guy, but pills are fine. Did I read that right? And when you said pills are fine, this was when you were just starting treatment with Dr. Kipper to try to get off.
Right. So, all right, I gotta hear this.
This is when I was still on the programs before they talked to them.
Right. You testified that when you were in Boston filming Black Mass, which you flew from Boston to LA, that you would just retain Dr. Kipper to help you try to combat that pill problem, right?
Ironically, he's making a movie called Black Mass while he's meeting his fucking... Now, that's so strange, out of Boston. But yet he's really like, Beverly Hills. Isn't that strange? November 8th, 2007. Okay. A Beverly Hills physician accused of overprescribing addictive drugs to celebrity clients, including rock star Ozzy Osbourne, has been publicly reprimanded by the Medical Board of California for poor record keeping, his lawyer said this week. Now, what's the problem there? I can't wrap my head around that. The admonishment ends a 9-year unmother fucking believable. A 9-year investigation to reprimand him for poor record keeping. Now, you guys remember watching, what was that, the Osbournes? And how nobody could understand a fucking word Ozzy was saying? I have to wonder. And I would have this fucking doctor produce every motherfucking record he had on these two. Unbelievable. I am just so like since 98. So probably even before that. I mean, my. If somebody's under investigation, 9 years. I'm in shock. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Oh my God. Mm. The admonishment ends a 9-year investigation of Dr. David A. Kipper, who originally came under fire for operating lavish, unlicensed detoxification programs for Hollywood figures and other clients in hotel suites and on private estates. So, I'd have to say, first of all, I find it really strange that for her wedding present, this doctor, who basically holds Johnny Depp's life right in his hands, in my opinion, writes his prescriptions, probably has a lot of these actors by the balls, in my opinion. This is just my commentary. I'm speaking on this particular subject because I think DV is a very important thing. I think the unlicensed and no oversight of rehabs, whether they be for wealthy Hollywood people or, wealthy Hollywood people, mind you, that are probably being blackmailed to shit. I myself being a victim of a very aggressive smear campaign and defamation myself. Unfortunately, probably will never make quite the difference that I probably could have had had, evil people not been so insecure like Comrade, I mean, insecure. He's insecure. But it's not about instant gratification anyway. If one person, the whole thing though is that the whole thing is that while we're sitting there listening to what's going on and we're reading about a 9-year investigation, Ozzy Osbourne and Nicole Smith that happened to, that Dr. Sanjun or Sanji or something, and the irony of these things is this. In my opinion, something very strange is going on in the country, in my opinion. And years ago, many years ago, well, look what happened. How many people died around her too? Her own son. Look at Brittany Murphy. The board 3 years ago accused Kipper of gross negligence in the care of 8 patients and threatened to take away his medical license. Kipper's attorneys, John B. Harwell and Deborah D. Drews, characterized the board penalty as a slap on the wrist and a throwaway sanction. Kipper has been completely vindicated of wrongdoing, but Deputy State Attorney General Richard DiMarino, who ran the investigation, said the findings did not absolve Kipper, but rather reached an appropriate resolution of the complex case. People often misunderstand our role, Marino said. Our role is not necessarily to punish doctors, but to protect the public. To the extent that physicians do things inappropriately, we try to rehabilitate them. Kipper did things wrong, but he learned from his mistakes. Kipper used to push the envelope, not anymore. Wow. No, she was due to be in a case as a witness. Something to do with her friend was Border Patrol. And I mean, this was a lot. I can't even get over this, Dr. Kipper. Wow. People misunderstand our role. Wow. People misunderstand our role. To rehabilitate. But doesn't that mean that he didn't rehabilitate? He's still doing what he was doing. I don't understand this. I'm in complete shock. So sad. I just don't understand what. No, Brittany Murphy, though, her and her husband both did die, yes. But once again, though, there was a shitload of prescription pills all through the place. I mean, it's not, it's probably so out of control, what's going on, that it's cool to have, YouTube, and when people have, well, yeah, they are. I mean, it's very strange to me that, Kipper, 57, was well known in Hollywood circles for treating celebrities for addiction in private settings with a mix of medications that he promised would offer a quick and painful detox. The program was seen as a discreet alternative to traditional drug rehab, which can last months and require years of follow-up therapy. The UCLA-trained internist is on the staff at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center and has been treating patients for decades at an office in Beverly Hills behind the five-star Peninsula Hotel. Why would they put it like that? Kipper's A-list client roster included movie stars, film producers, musicians, and entertainment executives. Critics said his treatments were ineffective, that patients often relapsed, and that he prescribed habit-forming medications to patients after detox was completed. 2 weeks after the medical board filed its complaint, Osborne told the Times that he blamed over-medication by Kipper for the disoriented behavior he exhibited on his reality TVs, The Osbournes. I was wiped out on pills, Osborne said, who later filed his own complaint with the board. I couldn't talk, I couldn't walk, I could barely stand up. I was lumbering about like the hunchback of Notre Dame. It got to the point where I was scared to close my eyes at night, afraid I might not wake up. Wow. The board began investigating Kipper in 1998, but did not file a complaint until 2003. He mounted a fierce defense, refusing to surrender patient records on grounds of confidentiality. Ultimately, a court ordered Kipper to turn over the files and pay a $90,000 fine plus fees. This is just unbelievable. Tennis shoes. That's sad. It's sad. Sad. Hi, Cassie. I can't believe they are not looking into the record of that doctor. You know, I'm no fucking rocket scientist, okay? What would make Johnny Depp's sister? Hi, Tanger. Find him, that doctor. My gosh. I was just looking at that doctor on the Amber Heard and the Johnny Depp thing, that Dr. David Kipper. I'm in complete shock. The board dismissed Osbourne's complaint after the singer failed to show up for interviews. Wow. I wonder why she was with Elon Musk. What was that about? Wait a minute. What? Is this true? I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know that she. I mean, hasn't he been married for a while, Elon Musk? Hmm. Jesus, taking forever to play.
Psychological evaluation of Mr. Depp.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so they didn't do a psychological evaluation of Mr. Depp.
You used a phrase there, intimate partner violence. What are you talking about?
So there are a multitude of different definitions depending on the source or the state. But essentially, intimate partner violence is abuse. It could be physical, psychological, and it's from one partner to another in an intimate relationship.
Did your role in this case evolve over time?
Yes,
Involve what?
it shifted. So I was retained at the end of January 2021, and then
Come on, lady.
Mr. Depp.
no.
Were you ever asked to do a psychological evaluation of Mr. Depp?
No.
Okay.
Why?
What types of documents did you consider in this analysis?
So I reviewed quite a few documents as part of my evaluation. That included all of the case documents, Ms. Hurd's medical records by Dr. Kipper, her prior mental health treatment records. I believe I reviewed.
Now, wait a minute. If back 15 years ago, he wouldn't give his medical records. I mean, he wouldn't give, the office's medical records to the medical board. But he'll give them to her.
And records from Dr. Amy Banks, Dr. Bonnie Jacobs,
Wow.
Dr. Tom Cohen.
What about HIPAA? I mean, really? Who paid her? No. She can't do that for the fucking opposing side. Give them all her shit.
Time with Ms. Heard and her direct company. I also reviewed exhibits, quite a few audio recordings, a video recording, several video recordings, or possibly photographs. I might be getting them confused, and multiple witness statements, testimony, and declarations.
Did there come a time when you met directly with Ms. Heard?
Yes, I did. So in conducting my evaluation, I met with Ms. Heard on 2 separate dates, December 10th and December.
Who fucking paid for this? Oh my god. Oh my god.
December 17th, 2021.
Approximately how much time have you spent with Ms. Heard?
So the evaluation, we spent 12 hours directly with one another. However, there were more hours involved in the evaluation with some breaks. So we spent 7 hours together on the first day, December 10th.
7 fucking hours. 7 hours. Tandra, drop your link to your channel in here. Unbelievable. 7 hours. That's like a fucking interrogation.
Directly with one another. However, there were more hours involved in the evaluation with some breaks. So we spent 7 hours together on the first day, December 10th. Not necessarily together because there was a 1 hour lunch break and about a half hour with breaks split up through the day. And then on the 17th, we spent a little more than 8 hours in the evaluation from start to finish with a 1 hour break and another half hour of breaks distributed throughout the day.
Okay. 8 hours in the evaluation room. This woman was being fucking. Wow.
As a result of the work that you performed, did you form any opinions with respect to Ms. Heard?
I did.
What were those opinions?
The results of Ms. Heard's evaluation supported 2 diagnoses: borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder.
What'd
she do? Read a fucking or watch a YouTube video?
A diagnosis.
A diagnosis is a way that that psychologists, psychiatrists, anybody in the mental health field thinks about a disorder. It helps us to communicate a set of symptoms that a person is experiencing, and along with that set of symptoms, it tells other professionals a lot about how those symptoms might have developed, how that person might behave, perceive the world. It also drives treatment.
Okay. Well, I want to see her 15 hours worth of notes. I want to know who employed her and how much she gets an hour.
Treatment. The real purpose is to determine what sort of interventions will be most effective for the person.
Interventions. Wow.
Previously, you made reference to, I think you called it the DSM-5. What's
Yes.
that?
So the DSM-5, that stands for the Diagnostic Statistical Manual, version 5. And that contains every diagnosis we use in mental health. And it's the authoritative
Relevance.
manual of mental diagnoses.
Is performing diagnoses something you typically do in your line of work?
Yes.
Gee, you think? Every doctor, I don't care what kind of doctor, has to have a diagnosis. Has to have a diagnosis. Otherwise, you can't fucking bill. So, what kind of a stupid fucking question is that? I mean, soap notes, they're subjective, objective, assessment, prognosis. Where are her fucking notes? What was she doing in room for 8 hours? And I can't even imagine.
So, you referenced two personality disorders. What's a personality disorder?
To understand a personality disorder, I think it can be helpful first to kind of define personality. So personality is something we take for granted, but these are the traits, the characteristics, the way we think, we feel, and we act that make us who.
Thank God this woman is here to tell us what personality is. Thank God, huh? We've got personality walk, personality talk, personality. I think we all fucking know.
We are. And these traits are pretty stable over time and across situations. We might, be sure to mind our P's and Q's when we're meeting somebody new. But overall, if somebody were to describe us or if we were to describe ourselves, we have a pretty good sense of who.
Okay, Miss Doctor. Since you weren't asked to diagnose Mr. Depp, wouldn't you say that whether it's Amber Heard or Johnny Depp or any other people, that destroying every hotel room, you unsubscribe? What kind of personality would she call that?
Of who we are. Sometimes an easy way to think of it is imagining how you might describe a brother or sister or a child if you have children. Their personalities are pretty clear to you. A personality disorder is some sort of dysfunction in those enduring traits. So as opposed to other types of mental illness, when you think about something like depression, that's episodic. It can pretty much be completely mitigated or minimized. compromised in a person's life and their personality is still there, separate from the depression. When we have a personality disorder, there are going to be disturbances in several different areas that are visible in almost all different facets of their life.
What if it's a life disorder? Unforeseen circumstance. And you got some Dr. Feelgood. All right, Cassidy. Prescribing you stuff to make you sleep all the time. Then they're calling it depressed.
Is there a psychologist, Dr. Shannon Curry, testifying that she evaluated Amber Heard and that in her expert opinion, she believes she has a borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder. More for testimony when we return.
With Worthy.com.
Welcome back. Let's get you back to the courtroom. Psychologist Dr. Shannon Curry on Direct. Let's go back in. Is there a manner in which personality disorders are commonly diagnosed?
Yes, so they can be diagnosed in a treating environment. Treating psychologist or a therapist or a psychiatrist simply does a diagnostic interview, which involves assessing multiple areas of a person's history back down through childhood.
Let me stop you for a second.
Yes.
What's a
Okay, this lady's a fucking douchebag. These people are railroading this woman, Amber Heard. I'm sorry, they are. He has abused her. If she wants to talk about her life story, she can talk about her life story. If he doesn't like how it makes him look, then he shouldn't have done it. Just because he's all hopped up, in my opinion, because of Dr. Feelgood, in my opinion, which is clearly there for anybody to see. I can't believe that they are not pulling into question this doctor and what's going on, and because there's some bullshit going on. In my opinion. Wow. Wow. See, even Winona Ryder was going through all this bullshit. All right, you guys, I'm going to go. I got a few things to do. So thank you for being here, and peace, love, and talk.